here. Today we're going to be doing another fall wreath. But this one is going to have this sign. Isn't this so cute? I found this sign at Hobby Lobby and I thought it would be fun to do a wreath with this. We have a lot of different colors and ribbons. You know, all fall colors. We'll be using those. But what we're going to do is we are going to do the poof curl method on this wreath. So I will move everything out of the way and we'll refocus the camera and we'll get started. Okay, so I'm going to be using a 21 by 10 inch Deco mesh, and it's in kind of a brownish, you know, kind of a fall color. I have some Deco mesh tubing that's in a very similar color, and then I'm going to be using the natural colored, and I am going to use a work wreath. This has the larger tinsel ties on it. So, you know, what I'm going to do is just make sure there's nothing scratchy on this side. Okay, everything feels fine. Okay, so what we're going to do my mesh open. So I'm actually going to start on the bottom. I usually like to start on the top, but with this method, I do like to start on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open these ties up so that I don't have to stop and do that while I'm working. So now we're going to be cutting our mesh. So this is a little different. These open. Then we're going to cut our mesh. Okay, so I have that open. I'll set it aside. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to cut this mesh here. And I'm going to be using my cutting mat, which is great because it has measurements on it, and my rotary tool. So I always like to get a clean cut. When I'm working with mesh, it just makes it a little easier to measure. Okay, and I am going to cut this about every 11 inches. So, like that. Okay. Like that. And I'm just going to keep doing this. Just like this. So the way that you can figure out how many you need is we're going to do one layer on the bottom and we're going to do 2 layers on the top. So there's 10 on the bottom and there's 8 on the top. So we need at least 26. So I'm going to cut 26 of these, and then when I come back we will start putting it together. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I've gotten them all cut. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start putting them on the base. Just move some of these back. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take the little pieces that you cut, and in the direction that it wants to roll, you're going to roll the end, okay, and you're going to leave the middle alone because that middle is going to have a poof in it. And what I do is I will make sure that my ends are about the same. Whoops. Let me redo that. Okay, so my ends are about the same. I want them to be, oh, about 3 or 4 inches like this. What I will do is I will go down and I will take my little curl. And one thing that's very important is you want to make sure that this opening right here is down. Because if it's not, you're going to struggle with that poof. So I just put my little curls down like this and tie them down. And then I will pull out my poof. So you see why it's so important that that is at the bottom. Because you're gonna need to pull that out. So you just keep doing the same thing. You just curl it at the end like this. Hold it. Make sure that opening is at the bottom. You can go back into that same tie you were just in. Put your second curl down. Just like that. Okay, I'm just tying it one good time. And then I'm going to the next one and tying that one down one good time. And then I'm going to pull out my little poof. Because I want to make sure that it looks okay before I go on to the next one. Because if it doesn't, I can still pull this out and adjust it. So I do the same thing. Just curl it at the end. And I'm curling from the end. And what that does is that helps the middle be a little bit looser and the sides be a little bit tighter. And that's what you want. So you open this back up, put your curl down, tie it back. Same thing. Put your little curl down, and then open up that poof. Like that. There. So I'm going to go all the way around the bottom. And then when I come back, we'll do the top. Now we're going to do the top twice so that it's like you have 3 distinct layers. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I've gotten the bottom on. So I'll start with the top. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing. So I'm just going to curl at the ends like this. Just like that. I'm going to go into a tie. Oh, let me open up my ties real quick. Here we go. So I'll just go into a tie, making sure that opening's at the bottom. Put it down. Tie it one time. Same thing on the other side. Like that. Then I'll just kind of poof this out like that. Same thing. So I just keep going around and around doing the same thing. So curling at the end, go into my tie, put it down, tie it back. Go to my next one. Tie it down one time and pull my little poof out. Just like that. Okay? And I'll show you one more time. And then I will finish going around the top and come back and show you the second layer. So curling at the ends like that. Okay. Go back into the tie I was just in. Put this one down. And then tie it down. Go to the next tie. Tie the curl down. And pull the poof out. Just like that. Okay? Alright, so I will keep going around the top and then I will come back and I will show you how to put the second one on. It's going to be the same thing, but I'll go ahead and let you see it. Okay, so I've gotten the first layer in. So to do the second layer, I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to curl up on the end. Make sure that bottom is open. And then I'm going to go right back in and put it right on top. Like that. I'm going to pull this puff down a little bit. And that is what's different. And then I will put this one down. So then, when I pull this puff poof out, I'll have one at the bottom, one in the center, and one at the top. And this is what makes this wreath much fuller. Okay, so I'll just do the same thing again. So I'll just curl it at the end. Just like that. Okay. So this is where we just put the second one, so I'll go to the next one. Just kind of moving things around a little bit. I will go back into this tie. So you will end up with 4 curls in each tie at the top. So pull this little poof down, open this back up, put my curl in, and tie it back. Now you will have to kind of maneuver those curls, but don't worry, they will move around, and then just open that poof up. So see there, you have 1, 2, 3 poofs. Alright, so I'm just gonna keep going around, doing the same thing, adding that second one on, pushing this down, kind of moving the curls a little bit so I can get that second one in. And then, when I come back, we'll start decorating it. So I'll be back shortly. Okay, so as you can see, it is all filled in, and you see how full that makes it? That's really nice. So we're going to be putting our fall sign in here. I love that. And so we're going to add some ribbon. I have all kinds of cute ribbon that we can add. Lots of fall colors. So what we'll do, I love that one. Bring all our ribbon up. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to cut 12-inch ribbon. So I'll use my 6-inch cardboard that I made and covered in duct tape. And I love to use this because I can quickly make some ribbon. So I just twist it around. And then cut it back off at the top. And then I can slide my scissors right in here. And just like that, I have cut several. Whoops. Oh, the wire came out of that one. Okay, we'll set that on the side. So I have 5 ribbons. Cut that quickly. Now I'll just bend them over and make my little detail by cutting at the angle. Like this. So there are 18 ties in this. So we will need 36 ribbons. And so what I'll do is just cut a variety of these, and then when I come back we'll put them together and we'll put them on our wreath, and then we'll be able to put our fall sign on. I have some cute little things we can add. This will be fun. So I'm going to cut up a bunch of ribbon, and then when I come back we will put the ribbon on, and we will put some of this Deco mesh tubing on. I really like this pretty color. And then we'll be ready to decorate and have a lot of fun. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I have gotten a bunch of ribbon cut. So what I'm going to do is just put two ribbons together like this. Find the middle. I'm going to pinch it. Open my tie back up. Put my ribbon down, and this time I'm going to tie it a good 3 times. Okay, and then I will fluff out my ribbon. I want them to go in opposite directions like this so I can see both. Okay. I do like to put two ribbons together that are different. I just like that. I think it adds a lot of interest. Okay. So just keep fluffing them out like this, kind of pulling them up. That's why I like to use wire. Okay. So I will just keep going around and adding in my ribbon, tying it down tight, and then I will pull one part of the ribbon sideways like this and fluff one up like that. There we go. Let's see. Alright, so I will keep going around the top putting these ribbons on, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing on the bottom. So I'll show you what I mean. I'll just take two ribbon, pinch it in the middle, open my tie up, put my ribbon down, and then tie it back tight. And then fluff it out. Like this. And do my little detail like this. It just kind of helps so that you can see it like that. So I will go ahead and put all of my ribbon on, and then when I come back we'll put our sign on, and we'll put a few little extra fun things like this. So I will be back shortly. Okay, so I've gotten all the ribbon in. Isn't that cute? So now what we're going to do is we're going to put this sign on. Now this sign comes with this ribbon attached because it's meant to hang, which of course we are not going to use it like that. And so I'm going to cut this off. I could use this ribbon, but I'm just not sure that I can make that work. Let's see. So what I will do is move all my mesh aside, find the frame, and see if it's long enough. And then we'll decide if we need to use something else. Okay, there it is. That's pretty snug. So I don't think we're going to use this ribbon. It's just a little bit too snug. So I will just cut this off. Okay. Now, I think what I am going to use is a pipe cleaner. So I pull a couple pipe cleaners out. Let's see. So I think I'll just go ahead and take these staples up. Okay, well, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on that. So if they're down there pretty well, I'll just leave them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my pipe cleaners and find the middle. And then I'm going to go to the furthest on the edge I possibly can and staple it down. I want to staple it down at least twice, and then I will tie around like that just to make sure it's not going to come loose. I'll do the same thing on the other side. So I want to be as far out as I can get. Whoops. So when that happens, I just run my thing through it. Okay. I think I'll come on this side and do it. Alright, there we go. So now, okay, so my camera battery decided to die as I was showing what to do with this sign. So, I will explain what I did. So I took 2 pipe cleaners and I just stapled them down to the base, and that's what I'm going to use to tie it on. Now I also want to put, let's see, I want to put one about right here so I can show you that one. So I just take a pipe cleaner, bend it in half, put it, let's see, about right in here. Then I'll just put my staple gun down and just put a couple staples in, like that. And then I will just tie it like that, just to make sure it's not going to come loose. Now, all I'm doing is kind of dry fitting it to see where. Okay, so about right here, I can put another one. I like to try to do 4 points if I can on a sign. It just kind of helps secure it a little better. Now there are of course sometimes when you can't, and sometimes you just have to do the best you can. There we go. Alright, so just gonna fold that off. Whoop. Looks like one staple got stuck in there. Okay. Alright. So now that I'm ready to put my sign on, I'll just bring my form back and I'm gonna figure out where exactly I want it. I think I want it right here. So I'll take these pipe cleaners and I'll run them in between the mesh or underneath the mesh and tie it right to the frame, because that is the best. See, like here, I just pull it around the back and just tie it off to the frame. That's the best way to do it. Now you don't want it to be too tight, but you also don't want it to be real loose. So figure out how I want this to look. I'll pull that back off because I think it's a little too tight. So let's see. Maybe about right there. Okay, so I'm gonna sneak in between these 2 puffs to the frame and tie this down. And then pull that puff back up. I will fix my ribbons here. Just kind of pull them back out. Make sure they're not covering up my picture, because that's not, or my my sign, I mean. I also take this part here and find a place that I can run it to the frame, like here, and tie it down, because I don't want my sign to move later. There we go. And as soon as I get done, I'll show you from the back what it looks like. So I'll do the same thing here. So this one's pretty easy. I can just move this aside, put it on the frame, make sure it's where I want it to be, and then tie it down. Okay, now I'm just going to slip it back there and move my mesh back around to make sure it's good. There we go. Then we have one more spot to do. I'm going to run this behind and I'll show you. So see, there's one right there. There's one. There's one. And the other one is going to be right here. So I'll just tie this down like this. And when I'm done, I'll come back and clip these and just kind of tie them around so you can't see them. There we go. Alright, so see, that sign is on there good. Now I will just kind of move my ribbon around so you can still see it, but it is not obscuring my sign. That, and I probably have smashed some of them while I was tying that down, so I'll just kind of go around and refluff a little bit. There we go. See, that looks cute. Alright, so now that we have our sign on and it's good and tight, we can add some of our tubing. So I'll just pull this out. See, now this usually comes, see, this is a large pack, so this comes with 2. So I only need 1. So what I will do is I will untie it. And that first piece is usually not in the best shape, so I just cut that off. Alright, so I'm probably going to do it about, let's do 36. We'll do a whole yard. So I'll cut that. I want to do 3 of them, so I'll just use that to cut another one. Okay. Another one, and we'll see if we're going to do a 4th. But for right now, we're going to start with 3. Okay, so I will just make a couple of loops, just like I would tie a package, like that. Then I generally take these 2 and kind of twist them around. It just makes it a little bit easier so it's not going to come loose. Then I will figure out where I want to put it. Maybe up here. I'll open my tie back up, like that. Just put it down, and then tie my tie right back. See? And then you have a little bit of that standing out. I like that. So do the same thing. And if you don't want them this large, you could even do, like, double it up like this and have several coming up. So it's just up to you. You can do it smaller, larger, double them up any way you want. And that's the best part. Okay, I'm going to tie one on the bottom. And as you can tell, I'm kind of going, and I'll definitely want to do another one because I'm kind of going, oops, I lost my hold on it. I'm kind of going in opposite ends. It just helps draw your attention to different spots in the wreath. So I have one here, I'll do maybe one here and then one over here. So let's cut one more. Okay. Then we'll just do the same thing again. I like this tubing. It's just a little something different. And I kind of like things to stand out. So I'm actually going to go to the back with this one. Okay. I'm just untying it here. I'll put it down. And then tie it right back. There we go. Okay, and then one in the opposite end, like here. Okay. Make my little bow tie. Okay. There we go. And tie it back. There. All right. Now we've gotten a little bit of this in. Now the other thing you can do is you can put some of these on. So these just come in a bag. I think they're really cute. And so what I will do is I will take them out. See, these are just like thin plastic. And what I will do is I will take like an auger or an ice pick and I will punch a hole in it. And punch another hole in the other side and make like a little tunnel. So I will take a pipe cleaner. I'll get my package open. Okay, and I will run it through that hole I just made. I do like to use pipe cleaners often because sometimes it can be kind of a challenge to get wire through. Let's see. See, it's right there. Okay. There we go. So that's not too bad. And you can just, I like to twist it on the bottom like this. Okay, and what that will do is it will hold it in place and it will kind of hide it. So then I will just figure out where I want to put this. Let's say maybe right here. And I will just run my pipe cleaners right through to the base. I'll just tie it on. See, right there. And that's it from the back. It's just really cute. So I will actually go in between and not actually tie it where my ribbons are because I don't want to detract from my ribbons. But I want to have something maybe kind of pretty showing. So I put one there. So I want to put one up here. Like maybe right in here. So I'll do the same thing. Just go through there There we go. Twist it like this. And I'm going to run it right through to the base. I don't want it to be too down in there, you won't be able to see it. So I will move my mesh around and make sure that it's going to help keep it in place. The other thing you can do is you can put a little dab of glue on it and kind of glue it right there to the mesh. But see how cute that looks? And so I'll just put a few here and there just to add a little extra interest. I feel like we have a couple cute boards. I like these. These are cute. So I'll just do the same thing. Just run this right through that. Now I'll just take the green one. Put that through. Okay. Tie it off. I think I'll put that right here. So I just go down to the base. See, this way, this one can kind of stand up a little bit. So I'll just tie it on to the base. And then I'll just refluff. Let's see how cute that is. So then we can put another one over here. And what's really great is you can kind of look for anywhere there might be a little spot in your wreath where it's not covering very well, and you can stick one of these right in there. So same thing, just make a hole. Whoop, see there, I kind of pushed through too hard. So be careful you don't do that. You're going to make sure you go down enough so that you don't actually pull it up. Because there's styrofoam inside these. Alright. So, just push that through. Whoop. Try this side. There we go. Okay. Tie it in the middle. And then just slip it right inside to the base. And you can kind of move your mesh. And just like magic, it kind of covers up a spot you don't like. And it looks cute. Just like that. See? Alright, so I'll just move things around, make sure you can still see my sign. Kind of move my ribbons around a little bit, fluff them back up, and that's it. It's just an easy, full, pretty fall wreath. So I'm going to move this up a little bit so you can see it a little better. And that's what it looks like. And from the back, you can see where I tied things on, and I will just clip those off, and you can use leaves or you can use a placemat and cover the whole back. You know, it just depends on if you have someone who is, or if you're going to be using this on a glass door. It's great just to take a placemat and just tie it on with some ties, some zip ties, and that works really great. And so that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this, and make sure to like and comment and subscribe, and I'll be back soon with some new wreaths. Thanks. Bye-bye.